Right, so we have our final startup, Catherine Kurtz, CEO of AQ22. Can we give a round of applause, please, and welcome Catherine?
Hello. Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine. I'm originally from Lithuania, but I spent the last 3 months in the US Silicon Valley, and we're building AQ22. And in a nutshell, AQ22, we're building AI agents for financial analysis, so totally different field than what you've heard today. Now, I would like to start with the metric that I'm most excited about, and that's what AI or Gen AI can bring towards the financial market, towards the banking industry. So it can bring a lot of new value within the next couple of years. And with that in mind, it's important to understand the technology that you're building, especially in the finance space or any other similar space, that you're building it for the future, because AI is changing so fast, right? So what we're building with our tool, with our technology, is actually an agentic bank. What's an agentic bank? It's, well, where AI agents are at a core, there's minimal human workforce, there's 24/7 operations, and it has a very personalized touch. Now, what we're building right now is the very foundation that will help us go to the agentic bank within the next 5 to 10 years. So what we're doing right now, where do we start with our technology? Well, one of the areas that we're most familiar with my co-founder, is credit assessment. When it comes to banks and institutions right now, still financial analysts spend about 2/3 of their time a year on just analyzing documents and looking at documents. And when it comes to loan applications, actually analysts can be generating much more revenue for banks, for credit unions, alternative lenders, but the loans are just so complex and take a lot of time. It can be up to 3 months, from 3 weeks to 3 months. So with that in mind, we're building an AI platform which will be learning from our clients as well, which are banks and all the other institutions that I mentioned, and will be helping financial analysts go through many more loans per day, helping with the underwriting, helping with also the credit memos, and much more. So this is the beginning. Our platform is built out of a lot of small agents. We're building also our own proprietary LLM, and it is highly secured. It will be running on cloud and on-prem to meet some of our bigger clients' needs, and that's only the beginning. We're building on a technology called Swarm Intelligence, where we're utilizing a lot of smaller models working together. One model is working with legal documents, another model is working with financial analysis, and much more. And how we imagine this technology to work in the future, in the upcoming years, is where we have analysts interacting with our platform, asking specific questions or submitting documents, and then we have all these hundreds of agents working 24/7 and analyzing the cases that we have. So this is a short presentation of our platform. Let me see if it works. This is initially what the financial analyst sees when they open the tool. There's different loan applications, and all the documents have been pre-screened. So instead of going through the documents now, an analyst can actually approve a document or send an automatic email to a client, which also automates the customer engagement part. We also have, all of our clients' applications in one place. You can see which were approved, which were dismissed. But also what's interesting is that our model grabs different key numbers and analytics from the documents, whether those documents can be an image format or any other format, and also puts them in a nice dashboard to give more clarity. The next thing I want to mention, which is very important to all of our prospects and clients, is the rules page. So a lot of the companies in the financial field likes their tools personalized. That's not something new. So in this way, we're actually creating a rules page, and we're allowing analysts to upload their own rules, whether that's a text form or a PDF, in regards to policies, regulations, and in this way, they can actually make the platform work for themselves. The final thing that I wanted to mention is our connection page, and we are creating those agents, as I mentioned, right? So right now we worked on 3 of them to begin with. One is an email agent and a legacy agent, and a couple of others that we built to start testing. So this is how our tool looks like right now. We do have traction, so we are in a process of 2 pilots. We've been active for the last year, but for the last 5 months with this idea that you're seeing today. And what you see here, we've built in the last 5 months. We have different case studies with big companies as well, like Western Union, where our technology can also be utilized. And then we have other big banks that we have in the pipeline that we want to move forward with. Even though we're starting with lending, that's the very first step because it generates a lot of value to our clients already, and it can generate much more. The idea is that we go into other areas as well, because a lot of the things that we're building with our technology are overlapping in other areas as well. And another thing that I really wanted to bring your attention to is how the market is changing or will be changing within the next years. So right now, AI software spending is around $16 billion in the US, and it will drastically change within the next 6 years. It will triple or grow even more. Now that's also correlated together with the labor market, because now big companies and also smaller ones will be spending much more capital on AI technology, and we will see this huge shift from human capital to automation and AI. So that's what we are working with. That's our market size, and that's why we're building technology today. Now, this is not my first venture. I have built other startups. I have one company that's fully functioning till this day. Now I stepped down as a CEO, and my co-founder, David, he has been building fraud detection models and other very meaningful models at IBM for the last 8 years, and building for banks. We also have very bright, brilliant people that are helping us pro bono before we finish the fundraising period, and we can hire them full-time. And we have industry advisors that are helping us with the industry knowledge, with more than 60, 70 years combined of working within the financial sector. We have people from Barclays, JP Morgan, also NASDAQ, and others that are not featured here, but they're a very crucial part of our product, because I believe that sometimes they do know more than I. And with that in mind, we will be raising our round in January. We want to finish it by the end of January, $2 million round, to get our platform live, to launch it, and just onboard all the clients that we have in our pipeline. So I'll skip that because I see that I don't have a lot of time. But just to wrap up, if you want to be a part of this journey where we're bringing more scale and intelligent automation into the finance world, because I can talk about that forever, please join us, and I'll be hanging around, and let's talk or join our waitlist. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Catherine. Sahil, I know you need to run as well, so I'm going to give you the first go.
Sure. Appreciate it. Thank you. It's super, super exciting. I guess my main question is, you talk about sort of expanding to so many different types of agentic workflows. There's obviously a lot of nuance in every single market that you try to go after and every single workflow you try to go after. How big is the beachhead? So how big is the credit assessment market in sort of that big 340 billion market you described?
Yeah, so it depends how you look at it, because we're only looking right now at the commercial loans as our very first niche market. We're dealing with 2 pilots where we're testing commercial loans of huge public companies, and also within the debt financing, it's pretty much the same case. So in there, it's around $8 billion market, just to start with that. But a lot of the things overlap, and of course, there's another aspect of the lending space is that you need to do renewals every year and look at the interest rates and other things. So with that in mind, it's not only one sell and one loan, done and that's it, but rather it's, something that the analyst can use all the time from the day they start.
Great. Firas?
Yes, sure. Great presentation. I have a question about the 5-year plan that you've mentioned in order to get to a fully agentic or fully automated bank. In a way, why specifically 5 years? And, given the acceleration of AI, and so that's the first question. The second one is on your valuation. You are raising 2 million, and we'd love to know what your valuation is, especially that you have plug and play there. So what have they looked at?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. So to begin with the first question, it will take quite some time to build an agentic bank, and also quite some time to figure out how that's going to be compliant with taking all the decisions mostly by the AI agents in the bank and giving loans and whatnot. So it's not an easy task. It's going to be a totally new technology. And as far as I know, we're the first ones doing that with this kind of approach. So it won't happen fast. Even if you can orchestrate and build a lot of agents right now, it doesn't mean that, you know, it will be performing really well. And we also want to spend some time learning from our clients. How do they run their banks? Also going into other areas. And even though it looks like some things are overlapping, each area like risk, investment analysis, cash flow analysis, any other analysis, this is so specific. You need to be really sure that the numbers match, and you know, LLMs are not always good with numbers, so we're figuring out like other ways how to approach that. Yeah, and to answer your second question, valuation will depend on our lead investor as well, and we already have a convertible loan from Plug and Play with an investment for a follow-on up to 150K.
Great. Valerie?
Yes, sorry. Agents are very popular. So perhaps you think you're the first one in the space, but I haven't seen any competitive analysis.
Yes, yes, I do. I can tell you now about our competitors. So in the agentic bank space, we are the first ones because nobody's building for the whole organization, and that's usually, if you look at the OpenAI 5 levels of AI, we are building for the 5th level, which is automation of an organization. If you look at the credit assessment space or the underwriting, for sure we have competitors, for sure. So there are some competitors in the US, in San Francisco as well, which also pretty recently raised, and they are early stage as well. There are competitors that have very old school systems that are being used but don't have AI layer. There's competitors like Rogo in New York who are building also AI agents, but with a bit of a different angle. And there are many other smaller competitors that are building, for example, in wealth management, in real estate loans, right? So everybody is like building with a little bit of a different take, but there's definitely, the market is for sure hot. Yeah. And we are aware of those people.
Yeah, early.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, no, I'm here. Fantastic. So, Dragana, Ricardo, Shamila, Catherine, thank you very much for your amazing pictures. Really great.